Okay. So, okay. Not sure how this is gonna turn out, but so I went out tonight. I wanted to go to like a pub or karaoke, and it turns out there's two of them close by where I am. So one of which was closed. So I went to the other one, and it was like, oh my God, it was packed. And then up and down the whole street, it was nothing but lineups. Like almost if you were to go to Canada's Wonderland or something like that, there was just lineups to get into all these pubs or bars or whatever clubs. And I was like, oh my, okay, well. So I waited in line for this one, and it's a karaoke bar. And my intention was to sing, because obviously I post videos and stuff like that of me singing, and I really enjoy it. And um, there was a huge lineup for it, so I was like, okay, well, I'll have my drink, I'll sit there. And I got up to get the drink, and then as soon as I turn around, people took my spot, so I sat somewhere else. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm listening, and then there's a couple of them, the songs, like I was really going at, but and it's so loud in there. Everybody's singing and enjoying themselves, having a really good time, and so like I'm just singing along. And then one of the guys finished the song, and then I just finished my drink, and I got up and left. And I was like, do I want to go anywhere else? And I was like, no. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just get a coffee or something like that. And I have my water in the car. And so I went to get an espresso. And I go through the parking lot, and there's like a random truck parked there, like one of those trailer things, and it's got a brand new yellow car just sitting on the top of it. And I was like, okay, that's random. Anyway, so I go through the drive-through, and I get whatever I needed to, and I come home. And the minute I come home, I'm hit with like a wall. It's heavy. And I was like, well, I know this is not my energy, because instantaneously I felt weighed down. I felt dread. I felt hopeless. I felt, um, what's that word? Like confusion, but with it, there's another word too. And instead of panicking or anything, which, recently I've been doing, I'm starting to get used to that, because I constantly am having this battle to hold my own energy, but it keeps being like drained from me. And then I'm getting like the swapped energy. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, where somebody literally swaps your energy. So you're in a really good mood, and they will purposely do things to trigger you or whatever to bring you down. And when they do that, they're taking your energy. They're literally, when you start to go down, or you're lowering your vibrational frequency, they will absorb that. I know this sounds weird. Stay with me now, okay? But they will do that. I don't know if narcissists just particularly them, or other people do it too in different ways, but they will drag you down. Now, I've been battling it out with two people specifically. Actually, more than two people. Several. Um, when I'm just doing my own thing, I'm vibing high, I'm just painting, doing whatever I'm doing. People tend to flock around me or whatever, but I'll get a lot of distractions. I'll get a lot of people doing things purposefully to disturb my peace, or whatever they can to just drag me down. And then projection wise, a lot of energy is thrown at me too, because I'll be completely like seeing fucking rainbows, and next thing you know, I have all these intruding negative thoughts or feelings of depression. So I'm like, where's this coming from? I was like, okay, no, I know this is not mine, and I do the best I could, but I've never been shown or trained how to close my energy off. It's always been open and available. And I personally like it that way. I don't see a problem with it if we were all creating our own fucking sunlight, then it wouldn't be an issue. But it's like people see this and they come and snatch it up. And So I haven't quite figured out how to block that off. So I'll have people come pick it up and or do something to lower my vibrational frequency. And it's all going to be dependent on how I act too, right? But sometimes it's like really bad. It's heavy. And I don't know what demons or what negative energy they're dealing with, but it's heavy. Even just now, I was like, oh, what do I do? So instead of fighting it, I decided to try something different. Because I have the capability of transmuting negative energy into positive, and I've been doing it for my whole fucking entire life for other people, their burdens, their problems, whatever. I'm really good at it. Not that I want to do their fucking work for them, but I'm really good at it. And so instead of fighting, I was like, you know what? It's heavy in the chest. It's heavy on the shoulders. It's just complete, like something's sitting on you almost. I was like, okay, I'll just carry it. Fuck it. I will just carry this energy. I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm going to continue going about doing what I'm doing. I may not feel the happiest right now, but I know this will not last forever. I know this is not my energy. I know I will receive my energy back, or I will elevate myself again, as I always do. I never have a problem with that. I will always get back to my own vibrational frequency that I'm happy with. And so whatever it is that this is right now, slowly as I'm talking, it's kind of lifting a little bit, but it's kind of struggling with me right now. And I'm like, I realize this is not my energy. There's no reason for it. But it's been a pain in the ass. If anybody's doing this to you, just know that you don't have to take it. You don't have to carry it for another person. You're allowed to separate yourself, or at least put your boundaries down somehow, or learn how to kind of block that off. But if it's happening to you, just know that it's a thing. And energy is real. And people do, some of them do expect you to carry their burdens for them. That goes without saying. I think that's happened a lot, but it's not okay. It was never okay. And even going out tonight, there's a gentleman that purposefully stepped backwards, and he scraped his heel down my leg. I didn't react to it. And then he turned around because I didn't react to it, and he looked at me. He was waiting, and I still didn't react to it. I just continued ordering whatever I was ordering. And he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I didn't even acknowledge him. I was just like, no. Yeah, my leg hurt. Because who heals somebody in a negative way? Right? But no, he literally took his heel and he physically scraped it down my leg. And I was like, anyways, so I was like, okay, there's a lot of people that are hurt people. Okay. And I personally am not trying to go about this in a way to belittle anybody or to make them feel like they're insignificant or that they're not worthy of anything themselves. I am explaining what I'm going through, kind of like documenting, and my process that I've understood and the things that I've learned and the shit that I've gone through, so that other people maybe don't have to do the same shit. They don't have to go through the same pain and torture and suffering. You know, it's kind of good that I'm explaining this, so maybe give them a heads up. If you have a problem with that and you don't want me to share information with other people, because maybe you're mad that it wasn't done with you, or whatever reason you wouldn't want to help other people, that's completely on you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. If you don't like me speaking truth to other people, that's on you, and you're going to have to carry that, because I'm not doing it for you. In fact, after tonight, after this whole ordeal or whatever, because it seems like the end of the battle, the end of the war or whatever, it seems like the last little bit, and people are they're clinging to whatever they got, so they're still coming at me. And it's not even phasing me. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to stop making videos. I don't give a fuck if people don't like me or what they may feel due to their own insecurities, because that's all it is. Because if you're going to go out of your way to call a person like certain names and stuff like that without understanding at all, just out of pure ignorance, it's just shows that you're not healed yourself. So there's been a few times I've been triggered, because I'm still working on it too. Remember, this is a process. I'm still fucking learning. But there'll be times where I'm triggered, and I've made a couple videos and I've watched them. I've kept them up for the purpose of learning of a process that I'm going through, and even the embarrassing shit. I'm putting myself out there because I don't give a fuck. But there's a couple times where I was triggered and I was acting out of ego, like I was really pissed off. And I could tell the energy that I was giving off in certain videos, but I'm at a point now where I'm not being triggered to anger. I'm not going to react in that way. I will unwillingly carry certain things that are being projected on me till I figure out a way to transmute them off me, because that's how heavy it is. And I'm not asking for it. I'm definitely not asking for it. People seem to want to swap out theirs for mine, kind of like do a trade in that sense, but it's not equal at all, and it's not agreed upon, and I do not give permission for people to do it. And yeah, those individuals, the moment they have their own energy returned back to them, when they can no longer cling to mine, and they're gonna have to fucking deal with it anyways. They still gotta learn the lesson. They don't get off, like, they don't get away with it. Like, it's still a lesson you have to fucking learn. So I don't care what anybody says. You could find every way, even passing it on to future generations, but you're still gonna have to learn your fucking lesson. It doesn't matter. We all have to. That's the whole fucking point. Kind of like a school. Only we have an abundance of information right now. It's all there. We have everything we need to elevate. There's a few people that are still clinging to whatever old system is left, because it's crumbling right now, and they're clinging really hard to it, and they're fighting themselves, because anybody that targets me or comes at me, they're just doing it to themselves technically. And yeah, sometimes I stoop to their level, play stupid little games, but that's my inner child, because she likes to play too. Just kind of stand up for myself as well. Also my dark side as well. So you got one, my inner child wants to play, and then the darker side kind of just wants to stoop to their level just to protect me when it's really not helping. I've had to stop myself and been like, you know what, it's not, don't do it. Just because they're triggering you, they want you to do certain, just don't, because half of it, the shit that they're moving around or objects and stuff, you could try to make sense of it too, but in their mind, however they give it meaning, it doesn't matter. You could protect yourself, that's cool, but it's really not worth playing their little games, because it's kind of sad, because if they're not going to heal from whatever they're going through, that they're going to be doing that the rest of their life. And I know I've gotten caught up in that whole thing with objects and stuff in place, but most of it's fear-based. At one point, it was fear-based for me, and then I slowly was just like, okay, I'll put a preventative here, or there's just to play around with stuff, or I'll do things for myself, positive things to uplift myself, give things meaning with the energies that they provide. But yeah, like, this is supposed to, it's got a certificate. This is supposed to be like several million years old or something like that. Anyways, if you're struggling with this, I just want you to know that sometimes people will not give you a choice. They'll project things onto you as really heavy. Just understand you need to remain calm, stay calm. They're going to try to do whatever they can to throw you off your course, whatever you're supposed to be doing, especially if it's making you happy. And that won't last forever. They can only go at you for so long till they burn themselves out. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. And then they're also just piling on the karma for themselves. Even if they don't figure it all out in this cycle, they'll have to do it for the next one themselves. So anybody that's tried to threaten you or come at you in any way, just know that they're fucking themselves over. So, I mean, you can verbally tell them that. Maybe it'll help. But some people just don't want. They are not able to gain the courage enough to look at certain things that hurt within themselves. So it's easier just to take it out on somebody else, which is not okay. Even when I get triggered or something, I still have to do the introspection as well. Okay.